Cyberpunk 2077. Now that's a name with a lot of baggage. I'm sure many of us were there for the unique launch of the game. And listen, I'm going to be totally honest here. That freaking game was unfinished and it never should have been released that early. So guess what? I didn't play it. And that all changed very recently. Want to know why? Well, CD Projekt Red has been constantly updating the game throughout the years. They released some huge fixes for it, so I decided to actually give the game a shot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I finally fired up Cyberpunk for the very first time in my life on, let me see here, December 20th, 2023. And I'm happy to say that Cyberpunk is probably one of my favorite games I ever played in my life. Yes, I am not joking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of my first 3,000 minutes or 50 hours within Cyberpunk 2077. Wait a minute. Let me fix that real quick. So, what's the first thing you do once you start an epic RPG adventure? Adjust the freaking settings, you noob! And yes, I do play with inverted Y-axis. Hey, don't blame me, blame Zelda Ocarina of Time. It taught me how to play inverted Y way back in the Nintendo 64 days. After spending too much time in the settings, I then went into the character creator and I spent too much time there too. There's just something about creating the right character in an RPG. You want to make the ultimate badass, and it's one of my favorite parts in gaming. There's also 3 lifestyle paths to choose from. We have Street Kid, Nomad, and Corpo. I think I'm going to choose the Corpo life path because I like money and backstabbing people. I'm just kidding. Only one of those is actually true, and it's not the money. After carefully and delicately crafting my character, I am finally loaded into the game and I take a gander at V in the mirror. Looking good, girl, but it seems like she's really stressed out. Turns out there was a leak of very important company intel and everyone at HQ is on edge. Now, I love a good juicy story, so I'm already feeling good about the corporal life path. Without wasting any more time, I run upstairs so I can find out what this leak is all about. As I'm traveling, I get a call from Arthur Jenkins, the guy who I'm supposed to meet, and he's pissed because I'm an hour late.
Got held up, but I'll be right there.
Damn, V, you that bad of a procrastinator? It's pretty impressive. Now, I definitely need to see what's up. So as I walk through the halls, I get the feeling that this leak is something huge. The dark ambiance, the low lighting, the music, it's all building suspense, and I can't wait for the payoff. So I finally make my way to Jenkins' office, and it looks insane. The presentation here looks stunning and it feels like I'm in a high stakes movie. By the way, movie is a term you're going to hear a lot throughout this video, so just be prepared. The first thing I notice is this big ass screen in the office. Turns out Jenkins is watching a group of people gathering for a vote. But before they can start, he freaking kills them. Like, what the fuck?
You know what to do. Start now.
And after he ices an entire council, he sits down and answers a phone call with a lady named Abernathy. Pure badass. Abernathy is a rival to Jenkins and he hates her guts. He proves this by giving me a data shard filled with confidential info on Abernathy. He wants me to use the information to sabotage her.
It's what I've collected over the past weeks. Biometrics, trauma team card, names of her closest associates, driver, chief of security, lover, lover's husband, everything. Use it and make sure Abernathy won't be a problem anymore.
Well, damn, this fucker means business. He even gives me a fat stack of cash for my activities since cold hard cash is untraceable. Ah yeah, let the backstabbing begin, baby. This is exactly why I chose the corporal life path. My next stop is Lizzie's bar to meet with a guy named Jackie Wells to discuss the data shard. But I'm not taking a regular ride there. Oh no. I'm flying in style on behalf of the company. This is one of those moments when I realized I was in for something special. Riding in this vehicle felt so cinematic. I could peer out the window and view billboards and skyscrapers. I could even take a sip of my wine as if I'm on a leisurely stroll. Again, it really feels like I'm in a movie. Ha! There goes that M word again. And now, I want to introduce you all to one of the most memorable characters in all of gaming. Jackie Wells, everyone.
Don't come here often, do you? It's good to see you, chica. Now sit down and tell me what's got your shorts in a knot.
It's good to see you too, Jack. How you been?
Jackie is a charismatic, wise joke-cracking badass who also happens to be a very good friend of V. So there we are, chopping it up about some business, and then out of nowhere, some Arasaka corporate goons appear out the corner of my eye. NANI? As you can see, these guys are huge assholes and they're very demanding. You know, kind of like a clingy ex. But I'm stubborn as well, and I'm reluctant to give them the data shard. So they decide to shut down all of my cyber implants I have from the corporation.
Fuck.
How you feeling? Pretty sharp dive, huh? Your access to company networks is hereby revoked. In 2 minutes, any company cybernetics in your possession will cease functioning. Give us the data you received from Jenkins. This will conclude termination procedures.
And they take away almost $122,000 from my bank account. Oh no, I think I might cry. After their corporate shakedown, I finally surrendered the data shard to the jackasses. And then I pass out on a disgusting nightclub floor because I'm probably about to die. You okay down there? Once I finally regain consciousness, I'm out for revenge, baby. V is for vendetta, and that's exactly what happens, as V is seen doing some questionable activities with Jackie to make money. This montage is pretty insane, and it sets the tone for the game. It concludes by setting us up at the next job, but before starting the mission, I realize I have no idea how combat works. But thankfully, Jackie comes to the rescue. He gives me a data shard that has a training simulation on it that teaches me all the basics of gameplay, combat, stealth, and even hacking into electronics. There's also a lady on there who goes through the tutorial with me. Her name is T-Bug, and she does a great job of going through the assets with me. God damn! I feel really confident with my skills, and once I finish up the combat guides, I then step into the very first mission of Cyberpunk 2077. Yes sir, it's time to lock in, baby. Our objective is to find a lady by the name of Sandra Dorset. The problem here is that there's a lot of enemies in our way.
Mira, eyes up. Pendejos ahead. Quiet, V.
It was at this time I wanted to put my stealth skills to the test. I snuck around that apartment stealth killing enemies and of course scavenging for precious loot. I ended up grabbing some guns, some shabby ass clothes, and a kick ass katana. After disposing of the enemies, I eventually stumble into Sandra and she's almost dead. And she's also naked in a tub of ice. Oh my goodness. Without wasting any time, I call up the trauma team who scoop her up, and the team also tases the shit out of me, just for the memes.
Hey, had to hurt. I followed orders.
Hey, fuck you, Jackie. After saving Sandra, I get to enjoy a nice cinematic ride back home. On the way, we get a call from the woman who hired us for the mission, Miss Wakako, and she informs us that we'll be paid promptly. Yeah, that's music to my ears, baby. After hanging up on the hag, we get freaking ambushed by some other goons from earlier. Thankfully, Jackie remains calm under pressure while I blast away at these fools. After decimating these goons, we arrive into a safe zone and I head home shortly. I then spent some level up points to increase the stats of my character, and once I finish up, I headed off to sleep in the bed at my very own apartment. And that wraps up Act 1 of Cyberpunk 2077. Holy shit. I think I'm going to be in for a wild ride. Oh, but you haven't seen anything yet. After catching some beauty sleep, I decided to explore around the area a little. I stumbled upon a pretty cool thing. You see, there's two cops at someone's door, and it looks like they're asking him to come out. As a curious gamer, I want to know what the fuck's going on, so I go up to talk to them. And this is where disaster strikes. So, I have X mapped on my controller to talk to other players. Well, at that exact moment, I go to talk to Mr. Shades guy by pressing X. He turns his freaking back to me, and the game prompts me to grab the fucker and put him in a chokehold. Aw, shit. I'm in danger. Just for context, you can grapple anyone as long as they have their back turned toward you, and that's exactly what happened here. As you can imagine, I'm freaking out. This was not supposed to happen, so I did what any sensible person would do. I knocked his ass out and I killed the other person with a katana. Mission failed successfully, I think. I hurry up and dispose of the bodies, and then I run into a gentleman named Coach Fred. Fred introduces me to boxing, and he informs me of an illegal boxing circuit in which I can win lots of money and prizes.
You mentioned something about fighting?
I've seen you landing blows in the ring. You've got sharp instinct. I believe in you, Vic. Time to show this city what you're made of.
Sounds like a plan to me. And Fred gives me the location of my first challenger. But before any fights can take place, I need some cybernetic upgrades. In Cyberpunk, you can swap out and upgrade different cyberware components within your character. This can be done by visiting a special doctor called a Ripper Doc. I wonder how they got that name. Putting my suspicions to the side, I go pay a visit to one of Night City's most trusted Ripper Docs. Say hello to Dr. Victor, everyone.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, V. It's been a while. To what do I owe the pleasure today?
Through some friendly conversation, I learned that I also have a $21,000 debt to Victor.
You what?
Quit crying, Vic. I'll bring you the eddies later with interest. You know I will.
Yeah, apparently he saved my life when I passed out on that disgusting nightclub floor. Yeah, remember that? When my previous implants were shut down by those corporate nut jobs.
How you feeling? Pretty sharp dive, huh?
Hey, fuck you, prick. Victor doesn't seem too pressed about the debt. He seems pretty chill about it. In fact, Victor offers me a free eye implant. And here's the cool thing. These implants offer some nice perks and stacks. I get a 4x optical zoom when scanning, and I get a minus 20% camera detection speed. Hell yeah. I have a feeling that I'll be visiting Ripper Docs very often in this game. I browsed through some of the other implants offered, but unfortunately, I'm broke as fuck. Yep, it's time to go make some money. And what better way to do that than by doing some slightly illegal activities? So I chatted with my main man Jackie, and he tells me that I need to meet Dexter Deshawn. He's known as a fixer, and he can seriously help us raise our cash and our rep within Night City. By the way, Dexter Deshawn is a pretty cool name, so it's appropriate that he can help us get paid. So without wasting any time, I'll make a few phone calls and step up to the man who can make my Night City dreams come true. Now, I must say, meeting Dex was one of the coolest moments I experienced in a long time with gaming.
Yo, Miss V. A pleasure.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll.
The atmosphere is just right. Dex is smoking a cigar like a freaking drug lord, and we're sitting in the back of a luxury car with a chauffeur. This is the highlight. It's like I'm in a movie or something. Movie count currently at 3. With the scene set, you better believe that Dex has a nice job for me. You see, there's this prototype biochip, also known as the Relic, that we need to steal from a huge megacorp, Arasaka. Remember? Arasaka is the corp that I used to work for before they fried my cyber implants.
Pretty sharp dive, huh?
So this is definitely going to be a huge job. 2 things need to happen before the big heist. 1, I need to meet the client who is going to pay big money for the biochip. And 2, I need to acquire a new piece of tech called a Flathead, which is a small combat military grade robot that will help me steal that precious biochip. The problem is that the Flathead was stolen by a savage group of mercenaries called Maelstrom, and I need to find some way to get it from them without being torn apart. Sounds like fun. After getting the final details from Dexter, I level up and I start exploring Night City to see if I can gear up before making any moves. But while I'm out cruising the streets, I run smack dab into the middle of a freaking shootout. What in the hell? So I do what any bona fide gamer would do. I get out my car and I start shooting too. It's time to lock in. I don't know who's who, but my gun doesn't care. I finally take them all down and their gear, and sweet loot is all mine for the taking. Yes sir. Also in Cyberpunk, you get to progress your skills by completing certain actions in game, such as getting kills with certain weapons, using your quick hacks, cracking passwords, etc. You get perks as your skills progress higher, and I love systems like that in video games. I think I'm going to get hooked at Cyberpunk. Once I get away with some new weapons, I then set up a meet with Meredith Stout. She's really high up in the corporation called Militech, and she's going to be my contact with the Maelstrom gang. She wants to meet in a really shady location though, and she wants me to be alone. At this point, this is beyond sus. Alas, I really need the money, so I go meet her and I reach out to shake her hand, and wham! Next thing I know, I'm on the freaking ground, and before I know what's going on, I'm being interrogated at gunpoint.
Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions? Got any more for me? Calm the fuck down. I just want to talk.
Christ, Meredith!
Shut your trap! That fucking thing ready?
All set.
Now answer my questions, honestly.
Yeah, Stout has a horrible first impression. This crazy ass witch is curious on how I know about the Flathead. But of course, I ain't no snitch. I didn't tell her anything. There's another guy here, Anthony Gilchrist, and he works for Militech as well. He's hog-tied and he has a couple bruises on his face. Yeah, it looks like Stout may have interrogated his ass as well. Eventually, I'm able to calm her down and work out a deal with her. She gives me the location of Maelstrom and the Flathead.
Sounds solid enough. I'm in. You pay with that chip, and that's all you gotta worry about.
Whew. I'm glad I'm not dead. Excited that I didn't die in some random ass alleyway, I go exploring some more and I run into a group of goons that need to be taken down by Night City PD. NCPD is so understaffed that they use vigilantes to help reduce crime. And guess what? They pay pretty well. So I'm definitely down to lend a hand. I planned the fight carefully and I execute it flawlessly. I must say that combat in Cyberpunk is so much fun. I even finished off the encounter by shooting the last guy right in the ass. Damn, now that's fucked up. So I loot the goons for their cash, acquire their tech and guns, and I head off to Lizzie's bar to meet with Evelyn Parker, who is the client, and discuss the plans for the big heist. Once I arrive at Lizzie's bar, I can see that it's as lively as ever. The DJ is playing some good music and the party goers are fucking drunk as hell. I chat up one of the bartenders and ask if he's seen Evelyn.
Looking for Evelyn Parker. Know if she's here?
Who's asking?
A big tipper.
Appreciate the gesture, but afraid I don't get paid to talk.
It's all right, Mateo. Just waiting for this one.
Oh shit, there she is. Looking kinda good too. After a few questions, Evelyn eventually shows up and even buys shots of tequila for us. Hell yeah! Now that's what I'm talking about. Ev wisely decides that we need to go somewhere private to discuss business, and I completely agree. I don't think the open floor of a nightclub is the best place to talk about stealing from one of the biggest corporations in the world. So we get a private booth, and there she explains that she has an entire layout of the room in which the biochip is stored. Well damn, that's clutch as hell, lady. The layout is on a piece of tech called a brain dance, or BD for short. Basically, it allows me to relive someone's complete memories with stunning accuracy. Evelyn was inside the room with the biochip, so I get to relive her memories of the room, which allows me to scout out any weaknesses within security. Now, How did Ev get access to this room? Well, turns out that she's very close with Yorinobu Arasaka, who is the son of Sorinobu Arasaka, aka the owner of the big Arasaka corporation that we're trying to rob. Mind blown.
Fuck, it's like I'm really...
V, eye on the prize, focus.
Warui kome. I miss this. You.
I know.
This shit gets even crazier, trust me. After viewing the brain dance and locating the possible location of the chip, Ev asked me if I want to cut out the middleman, Dexter Deshawn, and we can split the profits 50-50. I declined the offer because Dex seems like a really cool guy and I can totally put all my trust into him. Am I foreshadowing right now? Who knows? You gotta stick around to find out. After the meeting with Ev, I give Jackie a call and I give the details of the visit. I ride around town for a bit and I get spotted by some gangsters on the corner. They start shooting and guess what? I start shooting back. Not gonna lie, they were lighting me up. And at some point, NCPD gets involved and now I'm a wanted freaking criminal. The audacity. Through sheer willpower, I managed to repel the goons and the NCPD, but I'm still wanted. Unfortunately, when I was trying to get away, my car is super banged up from the last gunfight, and NCPD was easily able to catch up to me. Through some bad decisions, I turned down a dead-end road, and things are not looking good for me. I get pinned into a building, and my car's about to blow up, so I hurry up and try to scramble out the passenger door. That's the only thing I can do. But as I exit the passenger door, bullets rain down on me. And eventually, I am flatlined. Yes, this is my first death of many in Cyberpunk, everybody. Upon death, players must reload their most recent checkpoint. So thankfully, I scored a nice checkpoint right after my meeting with Evelyn Parker. I didn't learn my lesson because immediately after loading in, I went out and started a fight with some more enemies. This was another intense fight, and this time I did something really cool. I shot an enemy's grenade out of the air. Yeah, you better believe I was locked in for that. I even got a nice achievement from doing it. Hell yeah. I felt unstoppable at that point, so after cleaning up after the fight, I decided to put down the guns and put on the gloves because it's time for some boxing, baby. And my first opponent is actually a pair of twins. What the hell is going on here? Well, actually from the way they explain it, they are two bodies sharing one mind and they are quote unquote the same person. And nothing about this seems fair, but I get to place an $8,000 wager on the match, so send it. I'm ready to make some money. The fight begins and we waste no time. I start by countering some of their attacks and punish them once I see an opening. I try to focus on the fighter with the lowest health. That way, I don't have to fight two freaking guys at once. Thankfully, I'm able to knock one of the baldies out and now I can aggro onto the lone fighter. I make quick work of him as he faints with 13% of his health remaining. What a wuss. Hey, don't matter to me because I end up taking home an extra $20,000 for the victory. It's all about the money, baby. With this new money in hand, I think it's finally time to pay off that debt that I owe Victor, our friendly neighborhood ripper dog. Before heading out, I decided to check my text messages and I have one from a fixer by the name of Regina Jones. She tells me that there's a cyber psycho on the loose within the area. Cyber psychos are people suffering from cyber psychosis, which means their implants are making them go crazy and they become very, very violent. Psychos can be seen as mini bosses and they are rampant throughout Night City. Regina Jones wants me to take them down, preferably alive, so she can hopefully find a cure for cyber psychosis. Oh, well that's just sweet. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good with myself, so I take on the challenge to face my first psycho, and she goes by the name of Lieutenant Mower. And this fucker is strong as hell. She's fast as hell and she does a crap ton of damage. I was not expecting this at all. So I'm trying everything from throwing grenades to using my cyber hats and she's still bringing it. And then before I knew it, Lieutenant Mower turns invisible. Listen, they say life isn't fair, but it still doesn't justify this. It took everything in my arsenal to chip away at her health, and finally, after what felt like hours, I was able to take down Moa without killing her, I might add. She had some sweet loot on her, to include an electric baton, clothing items, and over $2,000 in cash. Yes sir, mucho dinero. I inform Regina of the successful takedown, and she sends over almost $3,000 for my efforts. Let's go! As you can imagine, I'm feeling pretty damn good right now. I have more than enough money to pay back Victor, and I have some extra spending cash on top of it. I knock out a few errands, earn some extra cash along the way, and I head directly to Victor's office and pay the man his 21 grand.
Finally scrounged up enough eddies to pay you back in full.
Hold on to him just in case. You need him more than me.
Not taking them all the way to my grave, Vic. Here. And thanks again for doing so much work on me without ever seeing an any.
That's what friends are for.
With my debt fully paid off, I decided to take a look into Victor's inventory and see what cybernetic upgrades he has for purchase. And let me tell you, I hit the jackpot. There's a leg upgrade available called Reinforced Tendons, and not only does it give me extra armor, but it also allows me to freaking double jump. Wait, double jump in this economy? Yep, sign me up. The upgrade cost me about $11,000, but it's completely worth it. I feel like a caged bird that's finally been set free. With my new upgrades and new legs, I feel ready to take on the world. After leaving the area, I decide that it's time to meet with Jackie and see if we can retrieve the flathead from the Maelstrom game. But on the way, I get a text from, you guessed it, good old Regina about a sweet gig. It's a search and recover operation in which I need to steal a cybernetic implant from a gang. Turns out the client went gambling and lost all of his money. Ha, typical behavior. And in an effort to get everything back, he then bet one of his optical implants. And guess what? He freaking lost. What a loser. He sounds just like Kaiji. Hey, all my anime fans know exactly who I'm talking about right now. And now, this guy wants everything back. But hey, as long as there's a payday behind it, I'm here to help. So I make my way over to the restaurant owned by the Tiger Claws gang. As I step in, I get a strange feeling that I'm not supposed to be here. You lost, boy. After looking around, I then see a huge sign that says private property, keep out, no warning shots. Well damn, that sign might as well say enter here, you little bitch. Yeehaw! So I open up that damn door and the gang members then proceed to dump hot lead into my flesh. I ain't gonna lie, I ran like a little bitch. Then this Tiger Claw drops a grenade and before I know it, bam! I'm freaking flatlined. Shit, this brings my death count to 2. And once I'm loaded back into the game, I swore vengeance. This time, I decided to perform a little sight recon. So, I double jumped onto the roof, distracted a guard, broke that fucker's neck, and then I proceeded to sneak into the restaurant through the back door. Harder. I'm not gonna lie. It felt really cool to take on the restaurant this way. The game doesn't tell you that there's a back door. I just naturally found it, and it made it even more rewarding. I love games like this. From here, I continued to stealth kill enemies, I looted the goodies around the restaurant, and I recovered the implant. With the implant in tow, I headed to the nearest drop-off point, deposited the goods, and got paid. Mama Regina treats me so nice. Now with the gig out the way, I then made my way back over to Jackie so we can retrieve the flathead. Once I meet him, I inform Jackie that we'll be using money from Militech to pay for the flathead. Remember old Merida Stout? Yeah, she's the one who provided the money from Militech. So me and Jackie head into the Maelstrom compound and it's heavily guarded. One wrong move and I have no doubt that these psychos will blow our brains out and probably eat our remains. We're supposed to meet a gentleman by the name of Royce, but once we arrive to the meet, we're greeted instead by a man appropriately named Dum Dum. Dang, I wonder how he got that nickname. We asked the guy to speak to Royce, but he's reluctant to bring him out.
Here to see Royce. We got biz to transact.
Mr. Royce is busy just now. you'll deal with me.
For now, we play it cool and strike up a convo with good old Dum Dum. He even offers us to take a hit from an inhaler filled with God knows what. Bro, that's disgusting. I have no idea where your mouth has been, and you want me to take a hit from your shitty ass jewel? Nah, bro, I'll pass. You dumb dumb. After chatting up Dum Dum, he eventually brings out the flathead. He lets us take a look at it, and he even lets us test drive it to verify that it works. We then discuss payment, and then that's when shit gets wild. You see, we mentioned that we already cut a deal with a guy named Brick to pay for the flathead. At the sound of Brick's name, Royce comes out of nowhere and points a gun in my face, and he's pissed.
I don't see any fucking brick around here, do you?
No sir, I don't see Brick either. In fact, the only thing I can see is the barrel of the pistol that you have jammed halfway up my forehead. What is this video game? I cannot wait to do a review on it. So eventually, Royce tries to be cocky, and I use that opportunity to get the drop on him. Yeah, now who's got the pistol in their face now, bitch? Now that I've taken control of the situation, I'm able to present the cred chip to Royce to pay for the flathead. I even tell him that Militech's onto him, so he better watch his back.
Here's the cred. Hell, I'll even toss in some info as a friendly bonus. Militech's onto you. They're close.
Wait, what?
Cred chip was spiked with a virus. But don't worry, I wiped it.
This is foreshadowing, by the way, because as soon as we close the deal, guess who decides to show up and crash the party? Yup, Militech. And before you know it, bullets start to fly, and there's only one thing to do. It's time to lock in, baby. This gunfight is insane. There's explosions going off everywhere, hostiles all over the place, and of course that sweet, sweet loot. You know I can't help myself. So me, Jackie, and a couple of the Maelstrom boys are blasting our way through this warehouse. We eventually reach the exit, but Militech decided to bring out their big guns in the form of mechs, and these bad boys can take a punch. This was a real tough fight, especially since there are 2 mechs on the scene. I literally had to throw everything at them to even compete within this gunfight. The entire time I'm on the edge of my seat because I've been so close to death more times I'm comfortable with throughout this entire encounter. When hope was almost lost, we finally dealt the finishing blow on the second mech, and all that was left was some puny human. I made quick work of his ass, and now the only thing left to do is to head home. Who the fuck are y'all? There's an entire military convoy waiting for us at the gates.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Fortunately, our guy Anthony Gilchrist comes to the rescue. Remember, he was the guy who was beat up by Stout and her goons earlier. He states that if we continued to work with Meredith Stout, then he would have been a dead man.
But if you'd worked with Stout, I'd be dead by now. Might not have intended it, but you saved my life.
Since we outed Stout with the Maelstrom boys, he decides to return the favor and not kill us on the spot. Listen, I'm not complaining, so I thank the bruised up boy for his kindness, talked to Jackie about our near-death experience, and we live to fight another day. And best of all, we have the flathead. So now our big heist on Arasaka Corporation can finally begin. To prep for the heist, I cash in on all the loot I obtained from the previous gunfight. With some serious cash, I then craft some mods for my weapons, and I go visit my favorite Ripper Doc, Victor, to upgrade my cybernetic implants. After I pay Victor his credits, I then step off to meet with Jackie to begin the heist. He's waiting for me at a nightclub called The Afterlife. Okay, right off the bat, I do not like where this is going. So me and Jackie head inside to the bar and we propose a toast to a new life after the heist. And then we head into the rear of the club to meet with Dexter, Deshawn, and T-Bug. And now it's time to begin the mission briefing. As we start to chat, Dex asks about Evelyn Parker. Since I trust Dex so much, I tell him that Ev planned on cutting him out of the equation. I told him that Evelyn wanted to get rid of the middleman, and Dex thanks me for my loyalty, and instead of splitting the profits 30% with me, I'll now receive a 40% cut for not double crossing Dex. See, I knew that I could trust Dexter. No way that he'd ever betray me. We then discussed the details of the heist. Me and Jackie will be going undercover to infiltrate the hotel that Yorinobu Arasaka is staying at. We'll be posing as arms dealers looking to do business with Yorinobu. That's what the Flathead is for. But our true purpose is to steal the legendary Arasaka biochip, aka the relic, that will make us filthy freaking rich. Dex even has a personal driver for us, and it's an AI service called Delamain. You see, Delamain controls a fleet of AI taxi cabs that also offers personal protection services. The cabs are bulletproof, and some of them come equipped with weapon systems. Now that's fancy. As I enter the back seat, the AI greets me and Jackie, and I'm fully ingrained with this.
Welcome on board this Delamain service. With Delamain, you leave your problems at the door.
Son of a bitch. Better fucking believe I will.
I see no reason why you should be using expletives.
I must say that the immersion factor of Cyberpunk is probably the best I've seen in all of gaming. I'll speak more on that within a proper review. Nevertheless, the AI controlled cab then departs from the nightclub and takes us to our destination, and hopefully a happily ever after. On the way to the hotel, Jackie and I discuss some of our plans after the heist. You can really feel the excitement as we think about hitting the big leagues. All we have to do is get the chip and we're rich. Let's do this. We depart from the cab with the Flathead in tow, and walking into this hotel is exactly like a scene from an action spy movie. At this time, I'm not even going to count how many times I've said the word movie. You get the point. This shit is cinematic as fuck, and CD Projekt Red has done an incredible job with the world design of Cyberpunk. We successfully get through security, check into the hotel, and head upstairs to our room, in which we will begin the heist. Time to load up the Flathead. Once we're logged in, the main goal is to navigate the Flathead discreetly so it can reach security and eventually Yorinobu's penthouse suite. That Flathead can go completely invisible, so this is a huge benefit for us. After getting the Flathead safely to security, we disable the comms room and incapacitate a net runner for safe measures. And now it's off to the races. We need to act fast because now we have a small window to sneak into Yorinobu's suite and steal the biochip. Thanks to the efforts of the Flathead, we encounter no resistance as we walked right into the penthouse suite. And damn, it looks good in here. I look around the room to loot some gear, and guess what I find? A freaking legendary pistol. Aw yeah. Turns out this is Yorinobu Arasaka's personal piece, Kongu. And it has some great stats. It has reduced recoil, an increased rate of fire, and it allows us to see the trajectory of bullets that ricochet off of walls.
That's a lot of damage!
With this sweet piece in my possession, I then head over to the area that should contain the wondrous biochip. Sweat drips from my palms as I jack into the container. At this point, we have to wait for T-Bug to breach the safe, but it takes time. And while we're waiting, we see some airships start to approach the hotel.
We got winged visitors. Bug.
Don't know who, but staff's a buzz. All 200 on their feet can't keep still.
Can't say I like this.
You gotta be shitting me. This was not a part of the plan, and this is highlighted through Jackie and T-Bug's dialogue.
Shit, Yorinobu's penthouse bound.
Fuck him! Open the safe!
Almost got it. Done.
At this point, I'm just mashing buttons on my controller because I need this damn safe to open so we can freaking escape. After what feels like a damn eternity, the safe is finally cracked. Jackie verifies the integrity of the biochip, and now it's time to make our great escape. But as we make our way to the door, T-Bug informs us that Yorinobu is making his way back to the suite.
Fuck, too late. Yorinobu's about to walk in. Find cover.
Where?
That pillar. Try that.
You fucking kidding?
No. Inside it now.
No freaking way. So our only option is to hide somewhere in the suite and hope that we don't get spotted. Looking around, there's only one place to go, which is the maintenance shaft located behind the huge television screen in the suite. For quick context, this is a one-way screen. So that means we can see everyone through it, but they cannot see us if they're on the other side of it. So it turns out that the mystery visitor in the airship is none other than Saburo Arasaka.
Are they here yet?
They approach from the landing pad?
Fuck are they talking about?
Got incoming.
Nuh-uh. No fucking way. This isn't happening. Saburo Arasaka?
The Emperor. Yet another ass-licking legend.
Shh. Doubt this copy's soundproof.
If you didn't know, Saburo is the owner of the mega fucking corporation called Arasaka, and he's also the father of Yorinobu, the guy we're stealing the valuable biochip from, which is technically still property of the corporation because Yorinobu stole it from them, but that's a whole nother side story. Saburo and Yorinobu are also not on good terms at all. There's some family drama involved here, and at this point I'm going to be quiet and let the gameplay speak for itself.
いつかこのような日が来ることは分かっていた。貴様はついに越えてはならない一線を越えたのだ。これまでお前の愚行には目をつぶってきた。だがそれもここまでだ。この裏切りだけは決して許せん。貴様の母親が生きていなくてよかった。息子の不甲斐ない姿を目の当たりにして心を痛めずに済んだのだからな。
おしこれで誰のことも許す必要はない。
Bruh, what the fuck? This sicko Yorinobu just iced his own pops. At this point, my jaw was on the floor and I think I even dropped my controller too. Jackie's face sums it all up for everyone right now. I think I just shit myself. And to top it all off, Yorinobu puts the entire hotel on lockdown and he makes it seem as though his father was murdered by some sneaky assassin through the use of poison. Yorinobu, you fucking snake in the grass! As soon as Yorinobu and his gang leave the room, I then depart from the maintenance shaft to find an escape. But first, let's take a look at Saburo. If you loot his inventory, you can grab a legendary knife from him called Nehan, and it has some sick stats. We also get his dog tag from his military service in World War II. Damn! Just how old is this crusty ass dude? And now that everyone has left the room, T-Bug informs us to get to the window ASAP. There's a service ladder available that might lead us to safety. Disaster strikes because once we reach the window, T-Bug has been compromised and we lose comms with her.
Should see a ladder. Ladder. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 not now. I've been made. Bug!
Pinche Dios santo bendito. Just lost T.
Fuck! Fucking Major Leagues. Happy now, Jackie.
There is no way this can get any worse. I head outside to look for the ladder, and guess what? I actually found it. Hallelujah, we're saved. But as we're heading towards the ladder, we're spotted by Arasaka's Delta Force of security. And there's only one thing to do. We gotta jump.
Oh shit!
Ugh, close one.
The relic! Madres! Ah. Oh, this ain't good.
Jackie, you're bleeding.
Worry about me later. Check the relic. Container depressurized. Biochip integrity at 94%. Fucking dropping. Carajo.
Once I regain consciousness, I'm not sure how much time has passed, but we are definitely not home free yet. To make matters worse, The case which contained the biochip was damaged, and now the biochip is rapidly deteriorating. Also, Jackie suffered a nasty wound and he's bleeding out like crazy. In a panic, Jackie suggests that we call Evelyn Parker and ask how we can preserve the biochip. Ev offers only one solution. One of us has to slot the biochip into our neural port. Oh hell no! Is that even safe? What idiot would do such a thing?
Well, someone's gotta do it. En el nombre del Padre, el Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amen.
Well, I guess that answers that question. Good job, Jackie. We then take a moment to catch our breath, regain composure, and push on to locate an exit. At this point, security is on high alert within the hotel. I utilize stealth to get a few sneak kills, but eventually the guards catch on to us and it's time to fight for our lives. The guards are relentless and the stakes have never been higher. We finally have the relic in our possession, and the only thing standing in front of us are millions of bullets. They attack us from every corner, but I'm determined to get us out of here to safety. Jackie, despite having a bad wound, seems to be in high spirits. Or maybe that's just the adrenaline kicking in. Either way, it's much appreciated as we finally make our way back to the lobby. This is the last firefight standing between us and our getaway ride. And of course, what's a big fight without an even bigger mech? After an intense showdown, we burst our way through the guards and that bitch ass mech and take the elevator down to the parking garage. There's a few more armored guards down here, so we need to kill them quick. After one final shootout, we finally have an opening to escape from the hotel. We enter the cab and it starts to take us to the rally point to meet Dex. While en route, a helicopter gets a lock in on us. So I pull out the pistol I stole from Yorinobu and I begin to let the bullets fly. This is an intense on rail section and it does a great job of setting the tone. And once the last one is down, I finally can check in on Jackie. And it's not looking too good.
It's gonna be alright. You'll see Misty, your mom, everyone you love. Jackie, don't close your eyes.
Misty, she knew. She always knew. The biochip. Hold on to it. For me.
Jackie Wells then passes away before we even reached our final destination. After a moment, the Delamain cab brings us to the rally point to meet Dexter Deshawn. It asks what shall we do with Jackie's remains. I inform Delamain to take Jackie to Victor's clinic, and Delamain accepts this option. I then bid my final farewells to Jackie. It's been a while since I was emotionally invested by a video game, and Cyberpunk has done an amazing job at capturing its characters and allowing us to become fully invested in their stories. Jackie's death was like a gut punch, and at this point, there's no way I can turn back now. So I step out of the cab and into the motel to meet Dexter Deshawn. I climb the stairs and my destination is room 204. I enter the room and Dex is fully aware of the chaos that occurred at the hotel, and he doesn't want to be associated with it at all, which is completely understandable.
Anyone with so much as a pinky toe dipped in this mess is as good as dead.
That's when I tell Dex that we need to leave Night City and he agrees. But first, he says I need to go get cleaned up. I have blood all over my face, so I head to the bathroom, but as I do, I notice that the guard starts to make his way towards my general direction.
It's me. Yeah, shuttle light.
Very sus. Too sus if you ask me. At this point, I'm on high alert and I decline the offer to clean myself up. At that time, I then asked Dex, what's the plan? And before I know
So
it,
what's
his
the plan?
bodyguard sucker punches the fuck out of me, and he proceeds to beat the shit out of me. God damn, that's a big ass foot. I know that shit had to hurt. Once I come to, the bodyguard hands Dex a pistol. Dexter, you fat fucking snake in the grass! That plump fucker then wobbles his way over to me and blam! One to the dome, and I'm dead. And this isn't one of those fake out deaths. Nah, I'm dead. Like, this is the end of my story. Or is it? So, without spoiling too much of the story, I'm actually brought back to life, and it's all thanks to that biochip that's in my head. It brought me back from actual death. Let's continue onward. Once I finally regained consciousness, it seems as though I was dumped away in a landfill like a used condom. Damn you, Dexter. You truly are a snake in the grass. I crawl helplessly from the dump, and in the distance, I see a portly figure that looks very familiar. It's freaking Dex! And there's a mystery person with him. Before I can make out who it is, I pass out once again from fatigue. When I wake up, I see that Dex is carrying me, and the mystery person turns out to be Takamura, Saburo Arasaka's personal guard. Once Dex drops me, Takamura then shoots the fat snake right in the face.
So let's you and me figure.
Hell yeah! Oh no! What's going on here? Let me quickly explain. Takamura was tasked with finding who's responsible for the quote-unquote attack within the hotel. Takamura then tracks down Dex, and he forces him to give it a location where he dumped me, aka the attacker. Upon recovering my body, Takamura then kills Dex to cover up any loose ends. Takamura then calls Yorinobu and tells him that he found me. Mission success. Once I come to, things don't seem quite right. Takamura then asks me for help? It seems as though he's under attack. I have no idea what's going on, and that's when some mercs pull up on us and they start firing at us. Takamura hands me a pistol, and I already know what to do. Lock in! I take aim and I start to blast the mercs one by one until there's one left, and he leaps into the car with mantis blades. I try to shoot this guy off the car, but that hypo booster that I took earlier is starting to wear off, and my half-dead body can't maintain proper motor functions. At the last second, Takamura finally crashes into a billboard pole, which pretty much kills the merc. Myself and Takamura are suffering from serious injuries, and he asks if there's a Ripper doc available that I trust, and I know just the guy. Good old Victor. So I call up the Delamain cab and tell him to take us to Victor's. Upon doing so, I no longer have any energy left, and I slip into unconsciousness. Over the next few weeks, Victor performed surgery on me. It takes some time, but eventually I'm finally able to stay awake without slipping into unconsciousness. That's when Vic and I are able to discuss what the hell is going on. He explains to me that even though the chip saved my life from Dexter's fucking bullet, the chip is also a ticking time bomb.
Anyway, that's not what's important right now.
Think you can top the terrorist in my brain?
The biochip. It's basically a bomb. Fuse lit already. You don't have much time left. Much life. A few weeks tops. Silverhand's construct is overriding your consciousness, gradually taking over your body until one day you'll just be gone.
We can't just yank it out either, because that will also instantly kill me.
Can't we just take the chip out, or...
Either way is out of the question. You die immediately.
And the problem is, if I don't find a safe way to remove it, the biochip or the relic will overwrite my system with an entirely new personality. And without spoiling too much, that new personality belongs to none other than Johnny Silverhands, everyone.
Hang on. Mean to say there's an actual terrorist in my head right now?
That's right, Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, crazy shit indeed. After having this enlightening conversation with Victor, I take more time to rest, and I'm finally back home. At this point in time, I am free to do what I want, and more importantly, I need answers. Like, how do I move this freaking chip from my head? I don't want my body to be taken over by a freaking VTuber. Also, why were hired mercenaries attacking Takamura? And why did he save me? Where's Evelyn Parker? Where's my money? Deep breaths, everyone. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now in the game. As you can see, this game is a wild ride, and I'm nowhere near finished with the main story. Also, I have so much more content to show you all, but there's no way I could squeeze it into a single video. You see, I have over 142 gigabytes of recorded footage. Maybe I'll just make individual videos out of them. So be sure to subscribe so you can see more Cyberpunk, baby. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm having an incredibly great time with this game, and I cannot wait to do a review of this game either. It's just oozes quality and amazing content. And if you watch this entire video, thank you so much, my friend. At this point, you might as well subscribe. You're invested at this point, buddy. I can't wait to spend another 3,000 minutes in Cyberpunk. And with that out of the way, it's time to lock in, baby. I'll see y'all in the next one.